Casino, Culture Casino, Culture Casino, Culture Casino, Culture Casino, Culture Casino,
Culture Casino.
Culture
Culture Casino.
Culture Casino.
It's Jimmy Kimmel guy. Good gravy. What a douche.
Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino.
Look at all these amazing people out there. We are doing it live indeed. Wow, look at all the people here. Hello, everybody. I didn't even advertise the show this morning. I was running behind. I just got done working outside. Look at all these people. Frank's out there, Angela, Tim. Look at this. Bobo Yogi. Got a gift from Angela. Wow. King of the Monsters 1954. Look at all these amazing people. We love you too, Angela. Thank you. And Coma Goen, good to see you. Jill Powers. Jill, thanks for being everywhere. Keeping it real. You know what? Keep it real is correct. Jimmy Kimmel still has free speech, which allows him to say more stupid stuff. Oh my gosh, the people are reacting to this terrible take by Culture Base. We're in a weird place, guys. We truly are. Let's get into it. All right, guys. Good morning. Welcome. I spent some time outside last night and this morning. Last evening, before I was doing a couple shows, was on with Snow Dub for his new Friday night show, and then late night show with Loki, which didn't last long. At least the first version that I was on. It looks like he got taken down for something that was in his intro, which is dumb because YouTube actually hosts the movie. So taking something down on a movie they host, the hypocrisy that I'm seeing these days when it comes to these services is they're just trying to get rid of creators with their own hypocrisy. And the fact that now they're like encouraging creators to utilize a bunch of new tools. There's like 30 new tools that are coming out, and they're all AI based. So they want you to let people know that your stuff might have AI in it. Mine doesn't, right? But I mean, occasionally I'll put like an element of AI like in a thumbnail, right? But I don't create with AI because YouTube will punish you for that. Plus, you have to identify that that's what you're doing. I mean, it's pretty wild out there. So yeah. So anyway, that's just creator problems. You guys don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about all the great people in the chat. We've got a lot of you out there. Like Tim already advertised the show. By the way, share the stream, share the dream. We need to get the audience up. And while we're growing by the moment, by the second, it seems, let's see if we can really supercharge today's audience on a Saturday, because we are in the midst of a Hollywood villain arc. And I don't think these guys realize they were the bad guys, despite us telling them that they were the bad guys for almost a decade now. In fact, I'd say about a decade now. You are the bad guys. You can try and cast, other people as the bad guys. You can form all these movements that were just designed to take away people's positions because you were envious of them, like Me Too and Time's Up and all the hashtag baloney sausage that came about in that time. But it didn't do anything, right, Eric? Eric K knows. He's been paying attention. We got, again, Jill out there and Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. Good morning to you, buddy. Avarice Carmageddon is here. Good to see you. And as I said before, a king of the monsters is in the house. Good to see you. Holy cow, this is overly generous from our friend Lightning Sketch out there. We'll get to that in just a second because Generic Brunette's out there as well. I think that's kind of fun. Let's see. Come going. Oh, Rambam. Hey, buddy. Effing thing sucks. Doing it live. That's right. And DL Fendel is out there. Hello to all who did hello, are following, and may hello in the future. Good to see you, buddy. Oh my gosh, what a good morning. Yeah, I'm going to go back outside when we're done today. If I'm not supposed to be somewhere, which I need to check, I might have to check my email while we're going here today. If I'm supposed to be somewhere else, I'll go there. But after that, I'm going outside. I got work to do. I got to get the fall set up. You know what I mean? Like peas and beans and snap peas and all kinds of stuff, right? Because like I like snow peas too. So all that stuff, like that's going right now. You know, set up outside, set up a bunch of space outside the greenhouses, and that's going to be freestanding on some trellises. So we're going with 8 feet. That should be high enough, I think. Very excited about that. Jamie, are we the baddies? No, we are not the bad guys. The bad guys we can spot, pretty easy. RC's out there. RC's not the bad guy. RC's been here forever. Hello. I wonder if John's going to make it today. I know a lot of people were kind of unprepared because I put this together at the last possible moment. But yeah. Sheila E's in the house. By the way, I love your albums. They're amazing stuff. Yeah, I think that you definitely know how to play the drum. So appreciate that. Orthopedics is in the house. Yeah, and Ron is right. Well, Ron can be right. That's okay. I will say this generosity will not go overlooked. Thank you to Lightning Sketch Productions for an amazing Fitty. I hope you meant to do that, my friend. I hope that wasn't a boo-boo. But for Fitty, Lightning Sketch says, sorry, the fan edit project is scrapped. I'm sorry, because I can't download the 7 movies. I wish there were uncensored versions of Lightyear and others that I could watch, but there were censored. Perhaps it's better to let these go. Maybe, but Lightning Sketch, I tell you what, I'll work with Jonas J. Campbell on acquiring said editable digital versions, and we'll see if I can actually carve them up a little bit. Maybe I can make a dent in that. DL Fennel says, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong. Look at that. DL Fendel in the house. Look at all you guys. All right. Look, I've got Sergeant Giratina here. Of course, we've got Penny. Brian and Cindy are here. Look at all these amazing people. Lord Toth is here all the way from the Great White North, eh? It's a beauty way to go, eh? It is. And thank you, Lightning Sketch. That was very generous. Like I said, I may take a swing at it myself. I just have to get a hold of Jonas J. Campbell. Dean Krantz in the house. Good morning to you. A little warning would get me here on time. That's my fault. Once again, my bad. All right. I take full responsibility this morning because I was enjoying the outside. I like the outside. It is good. Go touch grass. Go raise your head to the heavens and be thankful for this day. You'll be better for it. Don't look at the sun, though, okay? That's bad. You toast your cornea things or whatever. Yeah, you probably need those. I'm just saying. GJJ celebrates 6 months of membership at the Rewards Club level. Welcome to the jungle, GJJ. Amazing sauce. I love it. I love that I'm now getting anniversary messages for y'all. Extreme Meme, of course, the one and only Hillis Mallory. Look at these great people. We are so blessed in this community. All right. Share the stream. Share the dream. Let's go to it. Let's talk about it. Hollywood's in their villain arc. I guess Disney's chosen the villain this time. I'm not sure I would want them to be thinking about Stay Puft the Marshmallow Man, but they kind of did. They picked Jimmy Kimmel. Now, there was an incident that happened yesterday we'll get to, a violent one, and they identified the perpetrator. And this is going to be a problem for everybody. We'll get there, though, I promise. But look, Jimmy Kimmel was not popular. Jimmy Kimmel was pulling 129,000 in the demo. Jimmy Kimmel's audience was evaporating. That's not a lie. That's what it is. Let's take a real hard look at what I'm talking about. See, That Park Place wrote an article yesterday on the 19th. It was by Marvin, of course, doing a good job over there, looking very much the part of a reporter that you would find in a Superman or some other similar comic book movie. Anyway, he says Jimmy Kimmel lost nearly half his audience in the 2025 ratings free fall before Disney pulled him off the air. Well, Disney pulled him off the air completely because about a quarter of the affiliates were going to pull him off anyway. And first of all, they think he's reprehensible, which I agree with those affiliate ownership groups. But at the same time, they kind of control the purse strings. Who wants a show with this guy? 129,000 people. That's it. I mean, people that have money. See, when we refer to what the ratings are, the nine times out of 10, we're talking about the demo ratings, the people in the right age group, right? The people that have money likely to spend it kind of age group. Really, it should be about 24, to the 50s, but it's not. 24 to 54 would be the perfect range of a demo because, again, youthful people don't have any money. They're busy wasting their opportunity and paying interest on student loans that they're going to be buried under for the next 30 years of their life for no reason, for what Charlie Kirk would call worthless degree. I mean, look, underwater basket weaving, we aren't going to need that anymore. And really, most of the humanities stuff is garbage. It doesn't apply. And you're not going to get a job based off of that, especially if you get an advanced degree. Well, I have a doctorate in gender studies. Who cares? You are a crock. Nobody believes you're garbage. There, and that's the problem, right? So I guess the whole point being is this guy was sinking before he even, got fired. Except he's not fired; he was suspended. A lot of people are saying he's fired. Perhaps. The guy, I'm looking at it this way. He refuses to apologize and was about to double down. He was about to double down, attacking the group that, has money. How dumb is this guy? Anyway, and in all the conversation around Jimmy Kimmel being pulled from the air, there's one factor no one is really talking about: his show's ratings. And his sudden removal from ABC lineup has dominated the headlines and misdirected a lot of anger. You know what? I don't care that Disney lost $3.87 billion in one day. You realize how much they lose on streaming per quarter sometimes? It's like $11 billion. So that's like a nap. Anyway, so the pundits are framing the move as a political flashpoint. I'm framing it as, how do we get out from underneath this guy? Which is the same question that another network was asking itself about the Colbert guy, right? Anyway, so Disney caved to conservative pressure, according to People. No. Disney caved to affiliate groups, two of them, about to be, what would have been three will be turned into two because Tenga is about to be acquired by the biggest one, Nexstar. And so, Nexstar number 1, Sinclair number 2, Tenga number 3. So anyway, so it wasn't conservative pressure. It wasn't progressive pressure. It's not any pressure. The pressure was from the affiliates, and that's it. They did not want this man on their airwaves, which they pay a lot of money for. They pay a lot for their affiliation. They pay a lot for those airwaves. They want the biggest bang for their buck when they get their local spots on what would be a national show. How this guy is still considered a national show is hysterically funny. But the numbers don't lie. The show wasn't at the top of its game. That was silenced in its prime. It was a program in free fall, hemorrhaging viewers every month before ABC and Disney finally pulled the plug, according to our friend Marvin. So he very poorly handled the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. On air, the late night host suggested the alleged killer was linked to MAGA, despite police evidence and statements otherwise. So the backlash was immediate. The FCC commissioner got his feathers ruffled, saying some of the sickest conduct, raising the specter of regulatory scrutiny. But before they even got there, what happened? They pulled Knucklehead off the air. And they're getting a lot of flack for it. I mean, we're going to cover several stories to that effect. But here's the other problem. When you have people of such ilk, like Jimmy Kimmel, you're going to have situations that follow up or follow along the same pathway. Security will be paramount to a lot of people going forward. It tells you an awful lot. I'll tell you why. We're going to have a copycat. We're going to have a copycat. We're going to have a copycat. It's going to get a little bloody, and there has to be an end. And I'm not the only one that's probably acknowledging this. I know Tim Pool was talking to Crowder about this kind of a situation. And of course, all the security hurdles that were already there. I can tell you from going to a large scale, massive event with a political nod in it, especially something from TPUSA. I went to Amerifest. Amfest, whatever it was called. And I can tell you, last year, December, was it December? I think it was December. Yeah. It was amazing. It was wild. It was amazing, but the security was heavy. The security was tight, especially the day that the president was going to, at that time, the president-elect was going to arrive and speak at the event, which he did at length. That man can speak forever. Anyway, this is an event that's much like a rock concert, as it is almost anything else. So when you go to a large scale event like that, just be aware. Okay. You may want to take some ear protection or like some of those foam earplug things. But there was a lot of security. And this is an issue that a lot of people are seeing and running into. In fact, one of the very first events that when we started doing regular meetup events across the country, we had security. We had police in the vicinity hanging out for security's sake, so that nothing silly happened. We had actual, I believe, on duty police actually in the Florida venue. We have to ramp that stuff up. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be more difficult and challenging to do these kinds of events without somebody trying to do something dumb. And it doesn't even have to be at a venue. And the reason I've been talking about all of this at length for the last several minutes is because it's already happening. We're already seeing violent outbursts based off of misinformed people. Ruby Hoove, I want to say thank you again for that gifted membership. Gifty for just a guy. And I want to say thank you for the super chat saying can't type fast. So hi all. Have a great one. You too. I hope you're doing well, Ruby, and everything's going well. I hope you guys are having fun. I really I'm glad you made it to go see ZZ Top. And it's just great to see you here. All of you, even Putin. But yeah, so let's look at what happened last night that you probably haven't heard about yet, because it doesn't send it's not along the narrative that many people want to talk about. Now, last evening, you probably, if you follow X like I do, if you are on there, to stay up with things, you may have caught that there was an active shooter at ABC Sacramento affiliate station. And what was going on there? There are 25 comments on this. We might venture down, take a look. But the suspect was arrested, finally, in the ABC shooting. It put 3 holes in the door. Yeah. So a suspect has been arrested for shooting into the lobby of the Sacramento ABC affiliate KXTV. It happened on Friday, occurred one day after a protest was held outside the station over the network's suspension of the Kimmel. Anibal Hernandez Santana. Come on now, they're making this up. They squished 2 names together on that one, right? I guess not. Anyway, 64. They were arrested on charges of assault with a deadly weapon, a shooting into an occupied building, and negligent discharge of a firearm. The motive of the shooting remains under investigation, which is fancy ways for saying, we know what it is. We're not telling you because we think that it would be bad publicity for one particular political party that enjoys calling people one thing, but doing that exact thing themselves. Anyway, officers responded to reports of the shots shortly after 1:30 p.m. Friday. Sacramento police officer Anthony Gamble said at least 3 shots were fired at the building from a passing vehicle. So it was a nonchalant. It was a typical day in California. I'm kidding, of course. But 3 bullet holes in the window. The station said a person was in the lobby at the time of the shooting, but was not injured. That's good. Hernandez Santana was being booked into Sacramento Marin County Jail. No, wait, County Main Jail. Excuse me. Sorry, I moved it. Don't do that. I don't want to be the news. So yeah, in the Sacramento County Main Jail. There we go. In a statement to ABC News, ABC 10 station owner Tegna. Oh wait, I was just talking about those guys. Said it is fully cooperating with law enforcement and have taken additional measures to ensure the continued safety of our employees. The demonstration didn't really mean much, and it wasn't Tegna's fault that Jimmy got pulled off. It's the wrong affiliate, you idiots. But the signs that were being used in the protest that was there the day before, the signs said First Amendment, resist, and you're next. You're next. Born in Boston is 64 today. Happy birthday, Born in Boston. Just saw that. Much appreciated. Holy cow. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So, anyway, are these nice things to say at a protest? You're next. Is that nice? No, I don't think so. Anyway, so this is where the story ends, and this is where the comments begin, and let's see if any of them are readable. What the heck is happening in this world? It's all disturbing. Good question, Anonymous. No protesters were at the building when shots were fired. Helps if you could read. I don't know what any of that is. I'm not sure why that's a response to. I guess that was afterwards. All right. Patrick Ellis says conservatives hold prayer vigils, leftists hold riots. Interesting. Anonymous says you are a foolish man. Who are they? This is interesting. Anyway, regardless, this doesn't seem like it's going to make a lot of sense. All these people are focusing on January 6th, which they're going to find out was a snow job, but that's a different conversation. It's telling that these are the straws you have to grasp at. Anyway, I don't think this will be useful. So let's just set this all aside. At least they got the suspect. The problem is what I was trying to point out was that this is going to be more frequently occurring unless somebody puts a lid on it. And so far, no lid. No lid. Our good friend, Lightning Sketch Productions, once again this morning says perhaps it's better to be thankful for the non-woke movies in my collection and not focus on what's missing. I completely understand Lightning Sketch, but as a fan of animation, which I'm led to believe you are a huge fan of, it's always nice to have a full collection of stuff, especially when the Pixar movies, which are, well, kind of were the leader in the clubhouse as far as quality and storytelling. So I get this, my friend. I'm going to. I don't want you to give up. I don't want anybody to give up on completing their dreams. But I understand where you're coming from. But there's also part of the story that I think we're missing when it comes to Kimmel. Kimmel's the reason Kimmel's not back. Disney and Kimmel are trying to work on a compromise to bring him back. The affiliates, especially Sinclair and Nexstar, want a full-throated apology and an admission of wrongdoing. And I don't see Kimmel doing it. So, to that end, I got a story for you. Of course. Kimmel and Disney are working to reach a compromise to bring his show back. Really? Really? To bring his show back. Huh. Insiders caution that no agreement is in sight, but discussions continue as Kimmel weighs concerns about staff job losses if show ends. This was always going to be the outcome. And this is why oftentimes I think people decide to make stands before they realize the full scope of the ramifications. Think about, the how much money Colbert wasted every single year. This guy wastes the same amount of money. The revenue that this show brings in is about $16 million. And the salary for this knucklehead is $16 million. So the revenue the show brings in would only, I guess, cover his salary. That's it. You would think the show would make more money, but nobody's watching the show. Interesting. So Kimmel and Disney are working toward reaching a compromise that would allow Jimmy Kimmel Live to return to ABC, but the veteran host's business and legal representatives are deep in those discussions with Disney and ABC leaders in hopes of finding a path to a compromise that would allow for the return, according to 3 people with knowledge of the situation. Interesting. So the host has made no public comment since the show was abruptly pulled from its regular 11:35 p.m. slot on September 17, with Disney saying only the program would be off of its schedule indefinitely after one of the biggest owners of the TV stations in the U.S., Nexstar, said it intended to preempt airings of the program following remarks made in relation to Trump and slaying of conservative leader Charlie Kirk. I don't like the word activist. That really, says a lot more than it should. Sinclair, another large one, said it too was taking Kimmel off of its stations. Again, this is what I tried to tell everybody that was all, up in arms and saying it was Brendan Carr's fault. It wasn't. It never got that far. It was the affiliate groups and, well, human decency combined. Anyway. So, yeah. Kimmel has hosted ABC's late night franchise since 2003, and in recent years has become a key face of the network. which they forced actually, as his ratings were sliding on, the late night show. They rolled him into being a game show host as well. And of course, the Academy Awards, which he does very poorly. There's no guarantee Kimmel and Disney will come to terms. I don't think they're gonna. This guy costs money. This guy wastes money. Tell me we need him. Nobody at Disney's willing to talk about this. And apparently that Kimmel is mindful of the effects a shutdown would have on dozens of his production staffers, as well as vendors in Los Angeles who work on the show. According to one source with knowledge of the situation, the host is also aware some staff and crew members are still digging out of the financial hole created by the months-long writers and actor strikes of 2023. And I know some of those people, so I know that's true. But Disney representatives declined to comment because there's no upside. And Kimmel's media representatives didn't respond to requests either. So, yeah. Free speech advocates. Which ones? Sorry, I'm going to read the comment, then ask my questions. Free speech advocates have decried the company's swift move to take Kimmel off the air. Conservatives have cheered, and Trump has reiterated his threat to push for broadcast networks to lose their licenses for, and this is a mischaracterization of what is being said, allowing anti-Trump, anti-MAGA voices on their airwaves. Variety. If you even are trying to pretend you're a news outlet, this is beyond yellow journalism. You're making Hearst Media look good with a line like that. Free speech. Wishing for the demise of somebody or cheering for the demise of somebody, that's acceptable behavior. If you aren't reliant on a license that requires a bit of decorum and professionalism that Kimmel has never possessed, regardless. Anyway, I'm off this for the moment. I just thought it would be an interesting discussion because of the perceptions of people. I could be wrong. I will say Jimmy Kimmel still has free speech. He does. He's just not using it right now. He could come out and try to explain himself, explain why it would be beyond the pall to apologize for the heinous behavior he demonstrated and the things that he said. But hey, sometimes your principles are worth more. Maybe. Or maybe his are. I don't know. But what do you think? Let's see what you've got. Let's see what you've got in the chat. Brian and Cindy say, I thought Fallon had turned a page and went middle of the road, but just saw him double down on the political crap. Yeah, and that's not for Fallon. And I think he got pushed into it. Because he pulled out of an event faster than somebody with their pants on fire yesterday. Anyway, I don't think Fallon may go out. The whole genre could be eliminated, guys, which would be ridiculous. L. Bird says, if we, the people, voted for the Emmys, they would have got nothing. We all know their participation trophies, and L, you are 100% right. Monkey Jeebus just said Gina broke Disney. Yeah. Well, technically, Disney broke Disney by getting rid of Gina and then fighting through years of lawsuits. But yeah, Gina actually represented, what do you call it? A strong, powerful female leader, woman, person, right? A character that everybody liked on both sides. And then you let the political whack jobs get a hold of it. So, yeah, all true. When was the last time Disney cared about losing money over politics? They haven't, not for a decade. Because they know that every twice a month they're going to get a fresh injection of cash via stock investment. I mean, they don't get that actually, but it artificially keeps the price high. That's because of the gang of the industrial size investors, right? The institutions. It's because of the Fink man, Larry Fink over at BlackRock. It's because of Vanguard. It's because of State Street. So, yeah. And you're right, Carl. The fallout from Jimmy Kimmel leaving is crazy at this moment. It is. It is. I got a super chat or two I got to get to, so bear with me just a moment because my friend Hillis Mallory dropped $5 to say, it should be noted there is a difference between First Amendment and lying. Well, yeah, but under the First Amendment, you're allowed to lie. But no, I take your point. You are correct. I mean, all of this comes down to accountability culture, which is now something that's being ushered in across the board. And it's not just about the speech stuff or, Jimmy Kimmel or any of that. It's the fact that we've had almost 2 decades of neo-Marxism, postmodernism, any of those things being shoved into place. Like there is no right or wrong. There is no this or that. And mind you, we were all in Gen X and even before that, even the whack jobs that fought for garbage in the 70s, the 60s and 70s. Those people are like now getting their way, they think. And what they've done is they've pushed the pendulum so far, and the idea of people being tolerant so far. The amount of intolerance that's coming, folks, I don't think they're prepared for. I don't think they're prepared for the rules to come back into place. I don't think they're ready for a civilized society again because they've been living in the Wild West for so damn long. And I did curse. I said a bad word, and I'm sorry. But look, there are people right now that are keeping their mouths shut because they like their jobs. And we'll get to one of those stories in a minute. And yet, then there's this Kimmel guy. And if he ever makes it back to the air, he'll have a small bump when he comes back. It won't be much if he does come back. And then it's going to sink right down to where it was. People will not be interested that long. Collectively, we don't have that kind of focus anymore. We don't have an attention span. John Wilhelm sent $1, but also sent something as well, a membership message, which we will get to right now. And then we will get back to you guys out there. He says, after 2 months, commercial television, audience is paying the bill. Yeah, true story. And, they do that via commercials. Nothing's free. Nothing. You pay somehow. There was a clever line that I used to use, but it's got a couple of bad words in it, so I won't. But there's that. Ron says he's like Colbert, but he's going out gracefully. Yeah, I think Fallon's going to go out pretty gracefully. Aircase says Kimmel is an excuse to get rid of a failing show. And indeed, 128,018 to 49 is amazing. Yeah. Someday I hope to get those numbers by my own little self without a huge staff and a commercial enterprise behind me with loads of affiliates. Getting a video to 129,000 in the demo, I think I could probably do that. But I need your help. So for those of you who have not shared the stream, share the dream, please do so on your favorite socials. And make sure you've already hit the like button down below. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, what haven't you liked so far? Again, happy birthday to our birthday recipient, born in Boston. I hope you have an amazing day, dear. I hope it's incredible. Magnificent 7. What a great thing. I believe KK disliked Gina because Gina threatened KK's self-insert Ray. No, I think you're right. Yeah, that's not the only self-insert that KK has enjoyed. And you can read that how you want. Let's see. Johnny Carson had things to say. He did about political discourse and comedy. He didn't believe in spouting views, slanting toward one side or the other. No, he did not. And when he teetered on the edge, he teetered. He didn't tip. So, yeah. Kimmel is unwatchable. There is no charisma there. Pyrene Dream is on fire. Only humor that is used is punch downs. That's true. And is that even funny? I don't know. He tries to pretend he has an air of superiority over everyone, but he's just as frail and fallible as all of us. I think the quality of the people that have been puffing him up for a long time has dropped precipitously. And therefore, the people that are doing the suck up action are not quite as held in such high regard. So maybe that's some of it. I don't know. My good friend, my co-host of the new Sunday night show, which is coming back. It'll be a little more tempered on the opening night, but my friend here, Snowdub, will be there for 2. Culture Cash says, Sunday night show is back. Where's my clip? I'm working on it, bro. I'm working on it. You should be working on your clip. I want all you puppet guys to give me clips every week. Got it? Make it funny. Make it funnier than Kimmel. I don't think that'll be hard. I look at Kimmel and see, this is great, Dean. This is great. I look at Kimmel and see less funny guy from The Man Show. Yeah. How about the least funny guy? I think one of the guys that was like one of the offstage regular bit players was funnier than Kimmel. Yeah. Popcorn power. Kimmel needs to bring back the cheerleaders on trampolines. Oh, the juggies? Yeah. Yeah, I grew up on that MTV show way back when. Tom F in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Read by Nature in the house. And Cynthia Carter. Good morning, dear. Barry the Music Man. Look at all these wonderful people. Ron is right. That's a low bar. It is. I don't ask much. I don't. Wait. Culture, please fix my Star Wars. Thank you. I'll try. Look, if somebody gave me Star Wars, I would just reach out to my friends. There's a group of us, huge Star Wars fans. I think I could fix it. And look, all I'd have to do is get rid of the wolf guy, so I wouldn't have to have the tassel headed lady in every show. Because that's all wolf guy wants is the tassel lady. And it shows. And he's married to a witch. This guy is not okay. And I'm not talking about Wiccan. I'm not talking about that, kids. I'm talking about like that lady is nuts. Because I've known plenty of people that are Wiccan. So it also makes me understand that Hollywood understands a different thing about everything than reality. Getting tired of that. You got Archer Merchant out there. Good morning, Archer. Says, unfortunate reality, Kimmel and company could avoid issues by listening to Ricky Gervais. Yes. And just shutting the freak up. Yeah. Instead of they attack further and hide from blame. Well, that's the double down skill set that they think they've acquired. By the way, remember, read my member chat. Did you send a member chat? By the way, I love Mexican Iron Man. He's a good friend. He knew my mindset a couple weeks ago now. He knew what's going on. I was not okay. I was not okay. Penny, been here for a year, my dear. Thank you so much. So kind to everybody. Says hi to everyone. Says Pro 25, 21, 22 couldn't fit verses in the church or in the Bible. I'm misreading your symbolism there, but yeah, Proverbs. Okay, let me grab it. If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. In other words, be kind to others, even your enemies. Understood. Penny's got some sage advice, and that's an excellent chapter. How did you already? You got it. You got the Bible memorized, huh? Thank you, Penny. Those are good words. And our good friend Mexican Iron Man, who has been here forever, 51 months. He's going to get me to 100K before he quits me. He told me that. Of course, he's going to quit everybody. I think he's going to have to quit everybody before he quits me, though, because it's going to take me a while. And there's that. But he says, Jimmy Kimmel is a great late night host, like Culture Casino is a great YouTuber. I am so loved. I am. Mike loves me. He normally is trying to throw me into a volcano or something. So right now, at least I'm not. At least I'm not in a burning volcano. So that's a win. That's a win. Archer Merchant says, unfortunate reality, Kimmel and company could avoid issues by listening to Ricky Gervais. Yes. And I think I read that one. Thank you, Archer, again. And our good friend, John Coman. What a great man. He jumps on here, gifts 5 Culture Casino memberships. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. We appreciate that. John, thank you, my friend. Look at all those names go green. And then right behind him, our good friend, Tony Piacente, drops 5 more Culture Casino memberships. Thank you, Tony. You're the best. And look, there's a lot of outrage in the chat at the moment. And, I can understand why, because I imagine that Little Chef is kind of hungry right now. Celebrating 2 months of membership. Chef Eddie says, "Where are my tacos, Mexican Iron Man? Get off YouTube." Rabbit chicken tacos. And Chef Eddie is correct. That's a lot of gifties. That's right. Gifty. You guys are great. We are blessed here, friends, with all of this jocularity and mirth. By the way, I was told that I need to stop using big words or uncommon words. You guys think I should stop doing that? Is jocularity uncommon enough that you can't understand what that means? I don't think so. I got a smart audience. I have the best audience on YouTube and other platforms. I have the best ranches as well. I'm blessed. You guys, every day, I am blessed. But some people are blessed to keep quiet sometimes. I'm going to tell you that those people seem to be on The View. Have you noticed that The View has found a way to STF you, as somebody else put it earlier? They did. And that's hard because this woman is normally incapable of keeping her mouth closed. You see, The View is not commenting on Jimmy Kimmel, proving that, quote unquote, Trump's winning his war on the press again. You are a tabloid now. You're no longer a trade paper, and you are no longer of quality variety. But Whoopi will probably say something at some point. What would Barbara Walters think? She would think it was reprehensible to celebrate somebody's execution. So when she was leading the daily roundtable at the Venerable Panel Show, she created Walters leaned into the news even when it hurt. Yeah, but she's not going to celebrate somebody being executed. See, this is the problem with Variety. They really twist things about. Her star hire was Rosie O'Donnell. Are you high? Anyway, that got into a feud with Walter's friend Donald Trump. Walters returned from vacation to excoriate him as that poor, pathetic man. Well, this is when they were turning against the Donald. Didn't work out well for him, though. The View stayed on top of the news cycle. They're just going to try to say that this was the wrong move, having their network instruct them to shut up. I don't know about that. The View is always one fabrication away from being in really big trouble because they are touted as a news program. They are as much news as the Muppet Show. So, but anyway, they're normally unafraid to confront any issue or story, shied away from the topic entirely. They were probably told to, you idiots. If your boss tells you to do something, guys, do you usually do it? Because you kind of like your job, right? You want to keep it. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. So even Whoopi, who guesses the host now, basically, wasn't going to have any part of it. Tony Piacente for 5, Culture Casino Cash says, I'm surprised The View hasn't had oh my, this is a great comment. Hasn't had the shooter on as a guest yet. Well, I think that person's probably a little bit busy. I think Mr. Robinson was going to be busy for the rest of his life. But yeah, that does sound like a move that Whoopi would be happy to pull. I mean, that would be a coup for Disney, right? Oh, you know what? There was a birthday in the chat, and I'm waiting to this point in the show to remind everybody. Born in Boston. Had a big birthday. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, born in Boston. Happy birthday to you. and many more. And I don't believe you're 64, but I'm glad you're here. And look, I'm sure you'll find people to feed you, need you when you're 64. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a good Saturday. Sorry, I had to interject. Yeah. Also, Jonah Hex is in the house, and so is Rambam 3000 with a $5 super duper chat. Except that's not dollars, kids. That's pounds sterling. That's proper money. Saying the feud between Trump and O'Donnell is nowhere near as high energy as the feud between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. That was a thing for the ages. Yeah, I don't think many people here are going to know that particular reference. But yeah, back in the day, you could feel it from the way it's described. You could feel that energy. That there was like it was the venom and the dripping hatred was like so thick. Um, you could actually view the viscosity of that. That's how it. Woohoo! Yeah. Anyway, John Coleman again for $2. Dallas make you holla says, have you seen Steak and Shake's latest billboard? I have not. Now you got me going to go look for something during the show. Steak and Shake billboard. Probably not nice to Cracker Barrel. Trying to see this. Oh, man. Anyway, this says Steak and Shake exec targets Cracker Barrel with fire the CEO billboard, claiming we're responsible. I'm not surprised. This guy's been trying to take over the leadership of this company for a while through board memberships. So, yeah. Cracker Barrel's board has failed its shareholders. It has spent over a decade fighting with one of the largest shareholders rather than collaborating for the good of the company. And he's right. I've been talking about this guy for a while, but I didn't know. That's an amazing thing. Wish I had an image of that, but that's cool. Thank you, John, for sharing that. Amazing. I to be fair, I haven't been out on any of the major roadways that I'd be able to see billboards. So a lot of in-town driving for me. It's a great Saturday with you, John. Thanks for being here, buddy. Much appreciated. Oh, Senator, there are a lot of people out there, and you don't have to type in all caps, my friend. People are going to think you're yelling. But yeah, look, first of all, Montel has been broken for a long time, if that's the one you're referring to. He's not well in the head. And I think somebody injected him with probably a lot of hormones that maybe need not be in men. Or those are my thoughts and opinions. I mean, I'm not suggesting that happened, but it could have. A lot of things could have. Montel's a freak show. So there's that. Thank you, Sander. Sander took the caps lock off. Anyway. So look, Whoopi is what she is, but if she's anything, she's desperate for cash right now and has said as much. So yeah. And here's the other problem. Angela Richter points out that Montel dated Kamala before she married the Emhoff guy. You know, I don't know if I'd ever trust a female president that hadn't had children naturally. Isn't that weird? Did I just reveal something of myself? I'm just curious. Is that revelatory? I mean, reach down into your soul and think, if you are not if you're not participating in life and you want to have your hands over other people's lives, don't you want qualified people that have experienced life fully? I don't know. Is that a weird thing? Rambam says no. It's very sensible criterion. I thank you, thank you. Uh, Larry, a name so nice you must say it twice. Larry. Um, Kamala was a side piece for a lot of people. Ask Willie Brown. See, the problem is most people don't want to look into the sordid history of that particular person, and it's very sordid indeed. Scandalous, one might say. Anyway. Mark Daly, estrogen poisoning? Yeah, I think that's what Montel may have that. So should get checked out. All right, we'll keep going. Larry's got thumbs up for that. I don't know. I just feel like maybe I'm out of bounds with that one. Any female politician making making a point of themselves being female is probably a good bet. They shouldn't be. There you go. Having kids doesn't automatically make you a good person. Also true, but I think that going through the experience of being a person is good. I think if I want an authentic person that has had similar experiences to me, I think some people might use the term relatable or something, but I'm like, was she been a mom? See, and this is where I start to have the weird conversations internally about if you've ever been a mother, how can you like be for certain things? I'm always questioning that. Always. I don't know. And again, I'm not saying you're an incomplete person. Please don't misunderstand what I'm talking about, because I'm not. I'm talking about just the broadest possible life experience. I mean, some people are not blessed with children, but if you're going to be a politician and you're going to be deciding and making serious decisions, part of that's going to involve the children in the United States of America. And I think, the fathers and mothers probably have a better chance of making good decisions around other people's children, maybe, or at least they have some understanding of it. And if not, if they are a terrible parent, well, that tells us something too. Usually it's reflected in the kids that, somehow are, making very bad decisions with like cocaine in the White House and things like that. I don't know. Just thought. Yeah, man, Fanny was such a bad downer, right? So this is a problem. If the people around you get to the places they are through corruption, when you rely upon them to do something or deliver something, um, are you counting on that corruption, or are you being thwarted by the exposure of that corruption? Because it seems to be what's been happening lately. Live by corruption, die by corruption. I don't know, but it's very, very chilling indeed. Chef Eddie was reading between the lines and was correct. I said I did choose my words carefully. All right. The lovely Juliet has shown up from across the pond. The person I think does not sleep enough. I hope you do, dear. For £2 sterling, again, proper money in my chat, says, evening, young Gandalf and Maher. Evening to you, dear. I hope you're doing well. I really do. I want my friends in Europe to be happy. I'm going to wish something that might frustrate some people out there. I'm rooting for Germany to have an AfD government. Is that okay? I'm ruling for Herr Starmer to be booted out of office in favor of rational human beings, actual British people That'd be extraordinary. Yeah. So anyway. Okay, I'm done with this story. Let's get rid of this one. Anything that has to do with Whoopi on my screen is too long. So I just thought it was interesting that position isn't changing. Mum is going to be the word. But when I'm putting together today's thumbnail, I was late. Again, I was outside. It was nice. Sometimes it's nice to be outside. But when I was putting this together, it was like, hey, somebody volunteered to be silly. About 1 of 4 weeks, Bill Maher will say something that sounds reasonable again. And people start to go, well, Bill Maher's making a little sense here. And look, maybe that's the way he likes it. He likes to make sense once or twice a month. And when he does, some people who normally wouldn't watch him, may give him another chance. And then he says something dumb. And so the audience kind of waffles in and out. But he said something dumb again. He's standing in support of Jimmy Kimmel. He was reflecting on his own ABC late night controversy. You remember Politically Correct? Back then I was with this guy, right? And the things he was talking about and fighting about, a little different, a little more solid, a little more based, not just in reality, but in some kind of a moral structure that I could understand. He said, if this firing goes for you the way it did for me, you'll get 23 years on a better network. He's talking specifically about HBO. But HBO already has their Bill Maher. Nobody wants Kimmel. Maher didn't have a problem. There were people that wanted him. Plus, he was a darn good stand-up. If you guys ever saw his stand-up, he was brilliant. I don't think he thinks about things as deeply as he did. And I think the fact that he self-medicates with a variety of different substances doesn't help his positions. It's why every once in a while he'll get talked into a circle on his Club Random show and expose, the fact that he hasn't thought as deeply about issues as he likes to pretend he has. So regardless, Bill Maher shared his opinion on ABC's decision to indefinitely preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live with his perspective as a fellow late night host who endured his own share of controversy while on air with the same network. It doesn't have to do with the same network. And this is where Bill is being disingenuous in his analysis. But that's normal. So the real-time hosts wasted no time in addressing the suspension of Kimmel's show at the top of his monologue, where he started, well, I guess you all heard Jimmy Kimmel, my friend, my compatriot. He's been canned by ABC for comments he made about Charlie Kirk's assassin. Now, this is a guy that was kind of defending Kirk on one version, a recent version of his Club Random podcast. Anyway, he says the day right after he made the comments, the head of the FCC said he's going to revoke ABC's license. Not exactly what he said, but okay. Let me just tell you something. I am not intimidated by the FCC because you don't answer to them, you tool bag. I almost used the word effederate, but I did not. Saying, let me just tell you, I'm not intimidated by the FCC. And if President Trump is watching, I have one thing to say to you. Have you lost weight? I think he lost a little bit of weight. And then addressed his own controversy that arose in 2001 while hosting ABC's Politically Incorrect, which I thought, as I said before, was a good show. It was 24 years to the day that I made comments on ABC that got me canceled from that network, and Jimmy Kimmel took my slot at Politically Incorrect. Oh, yes, I got canceled before cancel even had a culture. This stuff ain't new. It's not. It's worse. We'll get to that. But, ABC, they're steady. ABC stands for always be caving. You think that's true? Guys, do you think that's true? Anyway, Maher defended Kimmel, noting that Jimmy, pal, I'm with you. I support you. And on the right side, or bright side, excuse me. Oh, I was going to get mad if that was right side. On the bright side, you don't have to pretend anymore that you like Disneyland. Yikes. Later in his monologue, he showed him even more support, further referencing the end of his tenure at ABC. Jimmy, let me just say, you did a great, funny show for 2 decades. He didn't do both at the same time. And great. Anyway, you should be proud of that. If this firing goes for you the way it did for me, you'll get 23 years at a better network. There won't be another network, you douche. And you're not on a network. You're on HBO. You're on pay TV. What an idiot. This guy works in media. He knows better. He knows that's a bunch of misinformation. Toebox are making comments. He knows better. Like I said, I mean, he's working in media a long time. Conservative commentator Dinesh, I didn't know he was on there, argued against the notion that the hijackers were cowards, stating, not true. Look at what they did. What is happening right now? Oh, that was on Politically Incorrect. Wow, Dinesh has been around that long? Goodness. Anyway, this just goes on and on. Maher noted that he didn't agree with Kimmel's comments, but noted that he shouldn't lose his job for it. He also addressed the silence of The View. Says, I gotta say, I'm friendly with the ladies on The View, but they didn't say anything about Kimmel's suspension this week. Nothing. They were told not to. You know that. Because it's never been their thing to weigh in on the issues. It's just an upbeat party show, and that's why they hired people named Joy, Sunny, and Whoopi. Yeah. Girls go out strong, okay? It won't kill you. I promise. It's happened to me, and I may go out after this show. We don't know. You know what? Kimmel will either come back or he won't. But Maher is going to stay right where he is. Nobody's going to change him. It's just kind of sad. I just felt like maybe Maher would find a level head here. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. But I'm not wrong about the amazing audience I have out here. Because one of our pals, our buddies, our wrenches, a man for all seasons, Eric K says, "Culture, you know some Whoopi is not fun. That's true. Whoopi Goldberg in the morning or anytime else is not fun. Yeah, some Whoopi isn't fun. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Anyway, maybe Kimmel can get a job on NPR or PBS. I don't think they have that kind of money. Yeah, they don't seem to have much funding. They lost some money. So Mark thinks maybe Jimmy needs to learn to code or stand on a corner with a sign saying, "We'll shill for food." Yeah, it's about right, too. Thank you, Eric K. You guys are on fire today. Greg Geraldo, he's on video here on the Tube making fun of how unfunny Jimmy Kimmel is before he died. Really? The other Geraldo, Rivera, that guy, different Geraldo, he said something relatively base the other day. I was very surprised. Probably doesn't want to get, involved in something that might involve crossfire. Don't know. Look at all these amazing people. Who are the least sunny or joyful people? Joy Reid, Sonny Houston, and Whoopi. Yeah, true story. Hey, Sabrina's in the house. Good morning, Sabrina's Espresso. It's a way to wake up in the morning. The View is canceled, says Humphrey Bear. I didn't see that yet, but would that surprise me? No. My granddaughter is wanting grandma. Okay, have fun. I am jealous. I will keep listening. Have a wonderful day. You too. Keep it real. You too. Hashtag. Greg Giraldo was a comedian, most famous for being on Comedy Central, Roast, and Colin Quinn's show 20 years ago. I remember Colin Quinn. He was great. He's still around, I think. All right, we're going to keep going. So here's something that I found interesting. It's kind of political. Not that I've been avoiding politics lately. You guys said it's fair game. It seems to be because it's stuck in all of our entertainment. But this was something I found interesting and probably a step in the right direction. Although there will be some people will be a little upset, like perhaps Elon. But I'm sure he's willing to pay the cost. What cost is that, Culture? Well, it looks like if you are here on a visa, like an H-1B visa, Trump has signed a proclamation adding a $100,000 annual fee for H-1B visa applications. Annual fee. How valuable is that employee from another country? Are they more valuable than just hiring an American? Is that really you can't find a qualified American to do that job? Well, it's going to cost you an extra $100,000 per year if they're that worth it. They're even more worth it now. Pretty wild, right? Yep. So apparently, Donald signed on Friday a proclamation that will require a $100,000 annual visa fee for highly skilled foreign workers and rolled out a $1 million gold card visa as a pathway to U.S. citizenship for wealthy individuals. Moves that face near certain legal challenges amid widespread criticism. He is sidestepping Congress, which I think he needs to do more frequently because they are a group of very corrupt individuals. 90% of them, I'm certain, are continually doing skate around the lines things all the time. And this kind of just clears a path. And it regulates this. He's actually, because of the Secretary of State and many other departments he controls, he can make laws, rules all he wants through those departments. Been doing that for decades. So anyway, there you go. So if that survives legal muster, they're going to deliver staggering price increases. The visa fee for skilled workers would jump from $215, right? Which is a fee that's common, and would climb from $10,000 to $20,000 a year for many European countries. H-1B1 visas would require at least a bachelor's degree, are meant for highly skilled jobs that tech companies find difficult to fill. Critics say the program is a pipeline for overseas workers who are often willing to work for as little as $60,000 annually, and that's what's been being done. Let's not lie to each other. Let's not lie to the American citizens. This is what's happening. So that's well below what you would pay an American employee, and that's why you do it. It's also why you send off all these jobs, all these gigs to these foreign countries. It's where all of our mid-level tech jobs went, is to foreign countries. I think Trump's tired of that. I think we're tired of that, and we're going to start, holding the feet to the fire because all the Congress people, all the senators are bought off and are constantly bought off. They like to stay bought off. They're cheaper. It's cheaper to buy off these politicians than it is to, put legitimate American workers in jobs. Call centers moved out of the country. Well, let's make it harder to put call centers anywhere but the United States. Seems like a solution. So the biggest tech companies, including Amazon, Apple, Google, and Meta, did not automatically or immediately respond to messages for comment on Friday, at least not publicly. I'm sure in back rooms everywhere they were saying everything but a good milk cow. But Microsoft also declined to comment. Nobody wants to talk about this because everybody knows what it is. Lutnick said the change will likely result in fewer H-1B visas than the 85,000 annual cap allows because it's not economic anymore. Yep. So anyway, I thought that was a piece of good news. Maybe we'll get some of the tech jobs back. Maybe we can cut the number of people that are going outside the U.S. by half. Don't know. Don't know. But I like the idea of a gold card. Very expensive green card. Kind of fun. So this week's been all about free speech. And one of the people speaking the loudest at the moment is a very lovely lady who I think the world of, Jillian H., who dropped 10 Culture Casino memberships. We are growing by leaps and bounds. Thank you, dear lady. You are amazing. Jillian is extraordinary, supports everybody, including the guys that are the Salty Nerd podcast, which come up right after this show, where you will be automatically redirected when we're done. And to the over 250 of you across all the platforms we are on right now, thank you for being here live. If you're watching on the replay, very important that you comment down below, hashtag replay gang, hashtag replay gang in the comment section down below. And let me know what number of viewer you are. That'd be a lot of fun. Chances are this show will have over 1,000 viewers by the time we end in total. And I will say thank you to each and every one of you right now. And in the broader conversation about, well, Jillian gifting 10 Culture Casino memberships, we'll just say this. We are on our road back to 1,000 members on this channel, courtesy of all the amazing gifties, all the people who are continuing their memberships. I just want to say thank you. 1,000 members is a big deal. Not a lot of channels get there. I have been there twice before. We're on the march back. I will update you this week on how many we currently sit at and how far we have to go. That'd be amazing. It would definitely solve some of the issues we've had with YouTube, not letting you know when I drop a video and not promoting it. So Mark's 47 is out there. Ranger of Dragons is in the house. Ron is right. Look at all these amazing people. But let's get moving on. Let's get cracking further. What do you say, Jan? What do you think? We got Checkmate out there saying those jobs aren't coming back. Big tech is racing around the clock to replace those mid-level jobs with AI. They are. That's true. But it doesn't mean we don't have plenty of tech jobs that aren't going to be AI. That'll be not necessarily easy to convert to AI. And until we have a fully mobile and automated workforce in the form of OptimSpots or similar, I think we're a decade away at least from being set on the sidelines as humans. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's look at what free speech costs sometimes. I think this would be a lot of fun. I think you guys will appreciate it because it puts Iger in a position of pain. Bob Iger getting pained because he's going to have to circle around the house a little more often and try to avoid Aunt Willow's wrath because his wife, Willow Bay, Uncle Bob's wife, isn't going to be too happy with him. You see, Bob Iger's wife, Willow, may have to move her free speech fundraiser. Free speech, only if it's liberal speech, only if it's one side of a political equation speech. Well, that's not our truth. even if it's the objective truth, that's not our truth. We can't have people telling the actual truth. Willoughby would know, former news person, just like Iger. Both news in ways nobody cared about. Iger was a weatherman, and the fact that he is leading an organization is stupid. But anyway, fundraiser for Willoughby's International Women's Media Foundation planned to take place at the power couple's Brentwood home next month. Everybody come to Brentwood neighborhood. That's exactly what rich people want. May have to relocate after her husband yanks Jimmy Kimmel off the air. You know what this says? This says our side is so brainwashed that because we took Jimmy Kimmel off the air for business purposes so that we wouldn't lose affiliates showing stuff or not showing stuff, we have to relocate our fundraiser because we don't want people near our house because they might attack us. They might attack us. Like that poor little affiliate station from Tegna that wasn't even one of the ones that forced the show off the air. Imagine being part of a group where you are so kept between the guardrails that if you stray, they attack you. Do you really have freedom of speech, Willow? Do you? The blast zone from the Walt Disney Company's decision to pull Jimmy Kimmel's late night talk show off the air is now threatening to engulf the Brentwood home of Bob Iger, the weatherman, who just happens to be married to Willow Bay, Aunt Willow. Dean, and this is the most corrupt communication school on the planet, Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism. These are the people that are constantly fighting for the woman's garbage that is managed to isolate just a tiny little group of those same women as people who are important. This lady, Willow, this Aunt Willow, is hot garbage. She's hot garbage. She's as hot garbage as Iger. And the Annenberg School of Communication has been corrupted by politics for over 2 decades. They are the ones releasing the garbage studies with garbage science and garbage information every year. They are huge supporters of the HRC garbage. These are the neo-Marxists. This guy, all he needs is a little broom mustache on top of his lip. I mean, can't have it at your house. No final decision has been made, but several board members have expressed their concerns internally over the optics of holding a free speech event at the home of the man who yanked Kimmel off the air. Behind all douches, there is a Mrs. Douche. Anyway, it is what it is. I just think it's funny. But again, my humor is very specific. So there's that. Anyway. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. She's hot garbage too? Yes. Iger and Willow are meant for each other. A match made in Hades. Maybe. I mean, they both they have the same taste in boats. Okay. And I think their boat probably has like 1,000 shower heads on it between the two of them. Free speech ain't free. Needs a fundraiser. Yeah, especially if it's targeted speech. Hey, Asky, what's going on? Good to see you. Davina's in the house. Good to see you. Caledon 910, your favorite radio station, is here. Bob had to take 3 showers yesterday, at least. At least. Yeah. 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 Crazy stuff, guys. Crazy. Dr. Joanne Kraus is in the house. PhD. Love it. Willow Bay used to be my crush. She was smoking hot. Yeah. Back in the NBA Inside Stuff days. Yeah. But I grew up and realized she's a horrible person. Kind of broke my heart. Yeah. Yeah. I can actually understand that. I really can. She is she was crush worthy for sure. Just remember that shower is the French word douche. True story. I'm going to go have a douche. Okay, I shouldn't laugh. That's very juvenile. I apologize. So I was right. Definitely douches. I need help today. I need help. I've been silly. Jan says, when your political bubble is so small that it is a mental straitjacket, you should check if that bubble actually is worth living in. I think a lot of people. I'm gonna say something because I was watching Anton the last couple of days. He's been finding videos of people that went on a voyage of self-discovery, and I think unwound all of the mental gymnastics that they had been doing in their life to try to fit into what they were quote unquote supposed to be. A lot of people went on that self-discovery because they were trying to figure out why is this man, Charlie Kirk, getting all this hate? And they discovered they didn't believe any of the stuff that they were being told they needed to believe. You're seeing, and this is across all spectrums of race, economics, the whole nine, right? You're seeing people go on that discovery, find out that Charlie Kirk never was a bad guy and never said what anybody said that he said, right? Never was the enemy, and are now looking deeper into how they got to that belief in the first place. It's usually by the bad voices out there. And I mean, if you want to put the theological weights on that particular conversation, you can, and of course, many people will, including Anton. But there's evil in the misdirection, which is why it's so easy for me when I'm a guest on a panel or whatever, when a media company is doing something that's just filthy, I'll say it. I'll be like, they're evil because they're giving you the half truth, or as some people would say, in different parlance, that it was cap. Like they served you up the lies. The people who serve you up the lies are as bad as the people telling the lies, if not worse. Because then they package it and then they have to like explain why it's bad. And then they have to make up stories around something that wasn't true in the first place. It's really bad because once you start down that path, you have to continue down that path. And just like any other lie that you ever tell in your life, you have to remember the lie. Then you have to remember the lies you told individuals or groups. And what if your lie starts to unravel? Well, you have to tell more lies around that lie. It's all bad. So, it sometimes step back, and evaluate your perceptions of the world around you. It's worth it. It's worth that few extra minutes. That's why I talk to you guys. By the way, if somebody asks me what's a good way to prevent or to help cure some depression, talk to people, talk to you guys. I get to talk to you all the time. You're like the mental washcloth that cleans out the brain and gets the fog out, that brings some clarity sometimes to stuff. Is talking. It's you guys, your opinions, everything there, And look, and the other thing is to be grateful for the conversation. I'm grateful for you guys every single day. Monday through Saturday, we meet here in the morning just to talk about news, and the benefit of this Saturday for me is to get to do it for 2 hours. It's a different way to going to like, I'm not going to draw a direct line between this and church on Sunday, but I'm just going to say, whether you're a believer or not, you should believe in talk. Talk helps. It's why your parents were always able and grandparents were always able to cheer you up or walk you through some of the challenges in your life. First of all, they'd had the experience most likely. And second, it's the conversation around this is what it is. It's not probably as bad as you're making it out. And what is a good way to get forward? What's a good way to move forward through this? That's why I need you guys. That's why I hope you look to me to have a conversation. I really do. That's what I'm here for. And now that I'm retired to do this full time, where can you find me? If I'm not here, where am I at? I'm over on Pros Channel. I'm over on That Park Place. I'm over on Midnight's Edge. I'm somewhere else, but I'm there. Anyway, I just want to say thank you for that. So, but it does loop into this conversation about, what you're being told versus, what actually happened. And I think that there are many very amazing things that have happened despite a tragedy, despite losing a man that we could ill afford to lose. Somebody who was willing to go out and talk to people, under threat of violence. Let's be clear. When people have their very fragile, misguided framework around them, like, start to fall apart, you have a couple of different reactions, but unfortunately the most base animalistic of those would be violence. That's especially if you don't understand something, or if your only perception of Charlie was because you were told a lie the whole time. You're going to have a lot of twisted kids out there. I think that's how you ended up with this situation. But I thank you guys. You're the best. I really do. Ron says, how can these people look in the mirror when they shave off their mustaches each morning? I don't know. I think Iger's probably one that has struggles with that. That's why there's multiple showers a day for Iger. He does grow a very fast 5 o'clock shadow, just in case you didn't know. But Brian and Cindy says, don't miss my question on your gardens. Okay. I didn't see it. Brian or Cindy? Probably Cindy. Where was it? Now I got to look it up. All right. Hang on. BRIAN. I have a question for you, CC. I found it. Hey, look at that. When you move, what are you going to do with all the plants, gardens, and everything that goes with it? Just curious. Believe it or not, a lot of it's going to stick around. I don't usually talk about the personal side of that. Let's just do it this way. This house and the grounds will all be kept intact, probably in some form of rental agreement with somebody I know. Because I'm going to, I'll automate as much as I can, so that it takes care of itself. There is care involved in what we are still putting together. But better yet, let me put it this way. Despite leaving behind a lot, taking some with, but leaving behind a lot, I'm probably going to take 20 or so citrus trees with me, because I've already started to, I'm already in the process of building enough like citrus grove kind of situation in containers that those in the next 18 months, those could be transported and actually put permanently in position in the new location. Because that's the goal, is to get even more land to not only put more plants on, and greenhouses and all that, but also have enough space for the animals and the studios, because the studios will be built on the same land in the same location, and people will be able to come and not use my studio, but use the other studios that will be building on the land. So the goal is to build an actual miniature studio, um, soundstage, at least one soundstage included, on that land. That's the goal. So I think I've explained that before, but as far as the plans go, I never thought I've gotten specific. So there you are. So the people that are in my area that I know that are also creators are going to, get a chance to live here, because I'm only going to rent to somebody I trust. What will happen to the hydroponics grow up? Well, hydroponics are actually really easy to move. I put mine together in the one hydroponic greenhouse. I put it together in a way to disassemble, and I've already disassembled most of it. Right now, that greenhouse is being extended both north and south, about another 24 feet, about 12 foot in either direction. And that's going to be repurposed to just hot peppers and things like that. I'm gonna let it get as much sun as it can, and I won't probably put any solar arrays on that greenhouse. So anyway, what state am I moving to? Tennessee. I think I've said that enough times. So yeah, Tennessee. Tennessee has all the different climates that I want to enjoy as I gracefully age out of existence. And I haven't, being in the desert Southwest currently, I haven't had winter in a long time. So I'd like me some winter, like me some snow. I'd like a chance to rebuild pasture, in the winter time, which is one of the best times to rebuild pasture lands. So, and build up your soil. Anyway, there any demand for sound stages in that area? Well, not like Hollywood style sound stages, but ones that are significant. I could imagine they're one of the things when it comes to this, the podcast studio areas will probably be always being used. The two audio studios will probably always be used. I'll probably have those rented all the time. And again, I'm not there to make $1 zillion. So the goal is to make it so that like just fledgling starting out efforts can utilize those spaces. But I would imagine like 1 to 4 productions a year will use a decent sized soundstage space that I'm building and building out. So that answers the question. New location, somewhere sunny. Hey, somewhere sunny is probably beautiful. But mostly sunny, mostly sunny. Look, I don't mind weather. Originally a lot of family. Well, of course, we came from all over the world, but eventually when we got to the U.S., I mean, we settled in 4 locations, and one of those was Missouri, right in the middle of the country. So, that weather I was fond of when I was in my youth. Springfield, Chillicothe, St. Louis. Problem is St. Louis is now a hole. Any blue city is now turned into a hole. So yeah. Like I said, and what Tennessee also does, it puts me close to a lot of other creators. So I'm very proud to head that direction. Puts me close to Tom. Tom's in Wisconsin. So anyway, wow, I got way off track, guys. Siths and Giggles is in the house. Good to see you. What else? Culture's done. Dissed us in NC. I love North Carolina. You are misunderstanding. I do not like your politics. I don't like your government situation. I can't believe you have the governor you have. That's a different conversation. I love South Carolina. I mean, there are several of my favorite humans from my social relationships through YouTube and others. They come from the Carolinas. So don't misunderstand, Asky. And by the way, I can drive. It's not far. Yeah, Dollywood is in Tennessee. Yes. And hopefully close to me. Anyway, there's that. But I want to leave winter behind. Ron, everybody, when they move to things that they've not had a good portion of. So I understand that. Just a light dusting, just a little bit. Just a little bit. They also get storms that most people are not super thrilled with, but the area I'm headed, not so much. So Biggles Mets in the house. Maybe Biggles will be living in this house. You don't know. You don't know. Larry. The two Utes. All right. Man, we had more stories, guys, but we want to go through them all. I mean, we could talk more about the business interests about why there's no real rush to bring Kimmel back, if at all. We could certainly talk about that. We could certainly talk about the fact that Colbert just pissed off CBS and their station affiliate owners because of his support and statements around Kirk and Kimmel. But I don't think we have time, unfortunately. So I'll say, look, we got Midnight's Edge on Monday. That's going to be an interesting conversation around the box office because there isn't much to talk about there. I think we're going to be talking about. I think we're going to be talking about a whole host of Hollywood issues that just don't seem to revolve around them making any money anymore. I think that's going to. I know that's sad, but it seems to be an outcome soon enough. And then coming up right after this show, of course, is Salty Nerd Podcast, where the guys are going to go through a lot of this stuff and a lot of the stories that we covered in an entirely different way. So it's going to be well worth your time. The guys are great. And yes, you will see me tomorrow for more stories, just in a different format, because guess what? The hiatus is over. The Sunday late night culture show returns, completely different format. And a rotating cast now of about 2 to 4 people per show. And that's it. And it won't be an all-nighter anymore. We'll keep it within the lines so that I get a little bit of sleep headed into a Monday. You guys are absolutely the best. I appreciate each and every one of you. Those of you who were very kind and gracious to give out gifties, I want to say thank you. And to those of you out there here at the end that dropped a couple of supers, I'll just say amazing. In fact, let's say amazing to this pilgrim right here, Pilgrim Media. Maru, the Japanese cat, has passed. Oh, no. Oh, I am so sorry, my friend. Oh, I know what that's like. Man, I'm still not over Bear Dog. I know what that's like. My shadow every bear. He was my shadow every bear. He was everywhere. So I understand. I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. My heart's with you. Truly. Juliet dropped a super chat for $1. Thank you, love. Appreciate it. And last but not least is, the keyboard themselves. ASCII's here and says, just messing with you. Not North Carolina. Where I live, it's country. So good people. I also can't believe the governor we got. Yeah, I know. I feel bad for all my friends there. We've got some great people. In North Carolina, again, that governor's situation is insane. But little sad news at the end there, Pilgrim Media. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I'm so very sorry. Juliet, thank you for being there, for doing everything you do. And to all my other wrenches, Jill, of course, is amazing. She's the best. Gollum's out there hanging out, but Jill and Ms. Pitt Cafe is usually not here on Saturdays, but I just want to say thanks to her as well. On that note, I'm going to go back outside and listen to my favorite friends' Salty Nerd podcast along with you guys. So I'll see you in the chat over there. Stick around. We have the outro that you love that's, becoming more and more popular, even though it has a bad word in it. It'll be also on tomorrow night's ending as well. So be prepared with your AOs. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, well, I'll see you. For real.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take
Notice
a
me,
face full of
senpai.
pavement just to make a
Good to see you.
statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude, crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently, thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.